Welcome to the 34,500 seater Asim Ferhatovic-Hase Stadium in Sarajevo, Bosnia. This is the home of the national Bosnian team. Let's go inside and see what it's all about. So this stadium was actually built in 1947. It actually had some reconstruction in the 50s and then the 70s, but it really rose to prominence for the Winter Olympics of 1984 in Sarajevo. And that moment is still a highlight for this venue. So during the Olympic period, this stadium was one of the most advanced stadiums in all of Europe, but it has been stuck in that since the 90s. But if you look at the referees' changing rooms here, it is a perfect size for referees, i.e. it's too big almost for referees. But how advanced? It even has a pool here. What referee changing rooms, even in England and other developed countries in the West, have pools in the referees' changing rooms? That is so advanced. But as you can see, it almost feels like the 90s are calling it, and it's just not advanced from there. So in here used to be the media centre, and when I say the media centre, in front here, there would have been massive decks, amplifiers, everything to control the music. Now, there were so many wires in this building, they probably don't even know which is which anymore. But there were wires coming down, and it was so advanced. It's hard to get it across how advanced it was, because it's past then. During the 90s and 80s, this was one of the best stadiums in Europe. But it's not like that anymore. So we're at the entranceway with the tunnel to the pitch. We'll get to that in a minute, but first we have got the guest and the home changing rooms to go and explore. So we go down, and what do you think this is going to look like? Do you think this is going to be outdated? Do you think this is going to be really advanced and smart? Well, it looks quite modern. So when we go in, they've obviously updated it with nice grey tiles. It's not huge, it's not massive, but this is most of what you would want from a home change rooms. I've certainly seen bigger. But now obviously FK Sarajevo use this as their home ground, and yeah, they don't fill out, but everything is here what you need. Nice showers, not bad. Yeah, there's a bit of rusty pipe, but it's perfect for what is needed. And to show once again how advanced this was, and I say was, in here there is no light, so I'm going to use my phone torch. Parts of the stadium are in disrepair. So just check this out. For a door that I can't open, look at the size of this. I don't know how well you can see, but it has the pool. Yeah, for players to relax after a game, to cool off. It has everything. Unfortunately, it's not in good condition at the moment, but actually, overall, the changing rooms, what's in here? Hang on, can we see what's in there? Lots of wiring and plumbing. I just don't think it's got the money. But actually, for the home changing rooms, there's nothing wrong with it, just needs that pool fixed. Do we think the away dressing room will be any different? So let's go into the away changing rooms. It's got the same grey on the wall. Well, it looks pretty much identical without the, obviously the team team banner in the back. There is nothing wrong with this. Showers look okay. Little area for massages. It's not bad. Considering what I'm going to show you in a minute, it's not bad at all. But it's weird walking around here on my own, so I've had really nice guys showing me around and telling me stuff. Have we got, I don't know, and I'm just exploring myself now. This is a bit of a different, there's no pool in here though, which makes sense. I think that's probably the only real difference. But I'm making my own way around, just discovering. So it's not like any of the other stadium tours I've done where people have shown me, I've walked around with them and they've told me. I'm exploring this myself and seeing what I can get into. Well, I must say, these groundsmen are amazing because I have never been around a stadium and allowed on the pitch, especially in the centre circle. Now, this pitch is almost the pride of the stadium. It is very, very advanced. It's got the hybrid grass technology, the automatic irrigation. It's even got undersoil heating. However, they don't actually use it because it is far too expensive to use. But this stadium, just showing you that the technology is here, and this was one of the best stadiums and most technological stadiums in Europe. So looking around, it's fascinating because actually this stand here has a fascinating fact about it. Now, behind it, it is simply resting on a hill. And you probably can't see this from the camera, but this side is actually lower than this side because over time it is sinking into the hill behind. They've had to use concrete blocks to try and just prop it up so there's no real damage. But little facts like this are fascinating. To people that live here and are on Eastern European side of Europe, I don't think that they appreciate what this is. Now, yes, you could say that this is pretty much in a state of disrepair. Yes, this will be far too difficult to improve. There's no roof on the stadium because, one, it costs too much money, and secondly, how are you going to put a roof on this stadium? It's so difficult because it's all concrete. There's not a lot you can do with it. There's different authorities that actually control different parts. So you had the running track. You still have 100 meters here, but actually the track is run by one association. Then the pitch is owned by another. So trying to improve the stadium, it's just far too difficult. But I think this stadium is actually pretty beautiful. It's a shame it probably never fills out. Maybe some of the European qualifiers and national games you may get 20,000+, but normally you get about 9,000-10,000 here. I think one of the biggest selling points of this stadium is the view that you have. Now, Sarajevo is a beautiful location anyway, but the views here are just incredible of the mountains. It's so green and beautiful. So sitting here in the dugout or up in the stands, I will show you that in a minute, but if anything, even if the football quality is not very good, you got a beautiful place to sit. So I'm currently standing right at the top here of the biggest stand. Behind me in these rooms will be where all the media is, and there are loads of small rooms. They've got their desks, their chairs. There'll be obviously all the connections as well there's free internet as well. They'll obviously have all their connections. Up here, you'll probably find this is where the cameras are. So you're right on the top of this wooden plinth here. But here is a fantastic view of the pitch. And it feels, I don't like stadiums that have a running track around because I feel you end up too far away from the pitch. Unlike in European football, Western European football, you are pretty much on the pitch when you are watching. But from here, yes, you are still quite far away, but you've got a really good view, easily see the players in what is nearly a 35,000 seater stadium, which it doesn't feel like 35,000. It feels smaller than that, but no, trust me, it's 34,500. There is one issue. It is about 30 degrees here in Sarajevo. And oh my God, it is hot and sweaty. You can probably see from my massive forehead how hot it is. But with a stadium with no roof, there is no protection at all unless you're in the VIP section, which I'm about to go to. But it is so hot. I don't know if I could cope. And I know there's other stadiums. I'm pretty sure the Bombonera, for example, in Brazil or Argentina, one of them. I'm sure that doesn't have a roof as well. And obviously, you know, temperatures of that part of the world can be quite warm as well. But I'm absolutely melting. I really am. So the VIP section does have its own bar, it has its own official store over there and speakers, so there can be obviously things put on here. Maybe there's players before or after the game that will come and meet. But while we're in the bar, I might as well have, I'm pretty sure this is certainly from this area, it is boiling, but it is air conditioned in here. So this stadium, oh, cocktail, nice. So this stadium does actually have something for everyone. I don't know how used this VIP section would be because in this part of the world, it's not the richest part of the world, so I don't know what ticket prices are like. But it does have something for everyone who watches football. Dignitaries will be able to sit here. And so it is still, yes, I get it that the stadium is a bit run down, but there are so many aspects that were modern in the 90s, but are actually still modern now. So like this bar and VIP section here, this has got what you would want for the price that you're willing to pay. You know, and is this any different from stadiums around the world? In terms of VIP? No, probably not. I think this is really nice. I must say, sitting in the VIP section, the seats are weirdly small, but ridiculously comfortable. So I could happily sit here. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit of air comes into this little section here. I could actually sit here watching a game, just relaxing with a beer. I think, just look again. Just look how beautiful this is. Now, I get it. People from here are a little bit embarrassed, or certain people that I've spoken to, a little bit embarrassed and ashamed at what's happened to this stadium and it was so glorious during the Olympics and how fantastic it was, where it had the running track all the way round, and now it's in disrepair. But for me, coming from the UK, where most of our top stadiums are pretty good, I actually think this is fascinating. There is history here. There is the architecture style. So apparently this sort of architecture style is very consistent around the eastern parts of Europe. It's almost like a blueprint that just plonk, they put it down and there you go, you have it. But I think it's so cool, and it's different, different to me in the UK. So I think it's fantastic. So the stadium, as well as many places in Sarajevo, were affected by the Bosnian War from 92 to 95. But now this has developed into a bit of a cultural hub. It has lots of different events here, such as musical artists performing. Now, one popular Bosnian artist, Merlin, has performed here, and it was a sellout. But in 1997, U2 performed here 2 years after the war ended in their Pop Mart tour. And it was a real sign of pushing forward, moving on from the travesties and disaster of the Bosnian War. Another reason for this stadium struggling in recent years is simply the fans. This is a problem in a lot of Eastern Europe, where there are ultras, and it is not an environment for families. It's not an environment for money to be put into the club for investment. In the UK, in the 80s, football had a complete overhaul, partly due to Margaret Thatcher. No matter what you think about her, football did change for the good. Hooligans were taken out of the game and weren't welcome. However, here, you'll still get flares during the game. You still get the ultras who behave in a manner that is not befitting of a top European club, and therefore the club can't progress. They're stuck. And therefore, is this club, is this country of football and sport, are they going to move forward? Possibly not. I think politically, radical changes need to happen so that sport and football can grow. And that is not just in Bosnia, that is in a lot of Eastern European countries as well. If they want to compete with England, Spain, Germany, then changes need to be made. Well, I have been so privileged to be able to come to Bosnia, to be able to come to this stadium and explore. The workers here have been so kind to let me have free roam of what I can go and see and explore. And in my opinion, I think this is fascinating. The architecture of this building, the culture of this sports venue is just fascinating. Now, if you are from here, you may see the signs of disappointment, embarrassment of what this has become, but this is history, and you've got to learn from history to make things better. So, will Bosnian and Eastern European clubs change how they run to make a more competitive, financially viable team? Who knows? Now, would you come to this stadium? Would you enjoy watching football or a concert at this stadium? Please do let me know in the comments down below. And please make sure you like and subscribe. By you guys doing those simple things, it allows for me and Charlie to come to places like this, learn about different cultures and ways of life, and explore fascinating places. So do that. If you want to also support the channel, go to asweare.space to check out our awesome merchandise. And as always, thank you so much. I will catch you next time.